No, man, it's a Twitter account that hosts a
Listen,
live
man.
space.
Listen. Let me explain something to you. We old as fuck. We might be the same age, but we old as fuck.
You have a
Okay,
podcast. You have a podcast.
dude. Listen. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of loswiseguys podcast. I am one of your hosts, Eslam, aka Ra, God of the Sun, accompanied by Dan, Emperor Disco, and Danny, aka Papa Sunkiller, along with our special guests, Mike and Drew. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Thanks for having us.
What's up? What's up?
Yep.
Hello.
That's what people love to hear, Mike, while they're listening to a podcast.
That part's great. You're welcome.
Yeah, a little bit of ASMR. You know what I'm saying? That's how we
guys,
start this shit.
Do you guys want to hear some gargling?
No thanks.
No.
Unless it's cum, we don't want to hear it.
You can't say that.
Let's jump into the main.
Are we a minute into the podcast yet? I'm already disappointed.
We're
Not
still
even a
under a minute, but hey,
Nice.
that's how we do. Listen, let's jump into the main topic right away, and our main topic is going to be about crypto today with our special guest Drew, who has created his own NFT and crypto coin. But before we get into that, we're gonna get into a little bit about Drew. So Drew, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself before we jump into crypto?
Sure thing. So pretty much like my crypto adventure, I guess probably started about 3 years ago. Started trading stocks and options, futures, and got introduced to the standard like tokens. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardona, Gala, Polygon, the main coins that a lot of people hear of. So I started exploring them, finding out that there was a lot more to crypto than just like these major coins, and there's something called DeFi, and DeFi opened up this like giant portal for me, man, where if you can think about it and find a developer that knows how to code it properly, anything's possible. And it's taken me, like Mikey can tell you, man, like financially it's been a roller coaster, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't be doing it still if I wasn't profiting from it. I'm talking about trading crypto, but as far as developing a token and a project in a scheme that I'm doing, it is like it's expensive, you know what I mean? I've definitely come out like thousands and thousands of dollars to fund this project, but I think it's going to pay off. You know what I mean? So
I hope it does, man.
yeah, it's going to be cool. But we'll start.
We wish you nothing
we'll get
but
into
success.
we'll get into the project a little bit later. But that's what got me into crypto. I started regular stock investments. Found out about regular crypto, the main coins, and then started digging a little bit deeper. And I just you find spaces. You find like these Twitter spaces and Telegrams and Discords that, dude, everybody that I talk to teaches me something new every day. And I'm sure when I talk with them, they learn something new every day because it's so new. You know what I mean? Like this space is so new and so fresh that it's impossible for somebody to know everything about this. You know what I mean? There isn't a person. It's impossible.
There's new things coming out every day. There's new
every day.
Types of coin. You have your, like you said, your DeFi. You have your I'm not sure if this is the same as DeFi, but you have your I forgot what it's called already. But like decentralization.
Same thing.
Like
that's what that is.
same thing. Okay. Yeah. We've talked about crypto before.
Mm-hmm.
We got on the hype of Dogecoin back in the day.
Yeah, I know that one.
And we did Doge. I think the guys fell off after that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I'm sorry for speaking.
I still own stuff.
No, I know, but you haven't like invested in new things since then, right? Yeah.
No,
So that's what I mean by fell off.
It was a one and done for you guys.
I kind of got in and I used Robinhood, which is like the worst like app ever, and like fucked me over.
Same.
And I lost, ended up losing a bunch of money, and then kind of like left that sour taste, and then So I kind of like dropped Doge because it also was kind of like also Elon Musk was like sending out tweets and I felt like it was fluctuating a lot and I wasn't like super experienced, so I was just like I don't know. It's like it felt like I didn't really know, so I just like I kind of just backed off. Like
Yeah. So the thing with crypto, and this goes crypto in general, the way that, and it's going to be the proper term, but the way that the market can be manipulated by social influencers is ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember Dogecoin because I was really, really into it. Remember, Mike? Like I did this all day long and contemplated quitting my job.
I did too.
Contemplated quitting my job because I was making more money, you know, buying and selling all day than I was at my at work. You know what I mean? But the way that somebody could manipulate the market, as long as they have impact on social media and you know they have an outreach, is crazy. And it was kind of the perfect storm because Robinhood, we were at the peak of the GameStop AMC thing. You know,
Yeah, that's when
it was
too,
already
yeah.
attracting. You know, there was already a lot of new investors or casual investors, I'd call them, setting up a Robinhood account. So it was like the perfect storm. Then Dogecoin came out, or didn't come out. It was out for a while, but it got, you know, hyped up because Elon Musk said something about it. Robinhood so happens to list this one coin out of the 6 that they have listed. Come on, you know what I mean? It's more to it than what everybody really knows. But
Yeah.
Robinhood made a whole lot of money on this, and
Well, I think
that funded their DeFi wallets that they have now.
I think there's a lawsuit against Musk right now for like
Market manipulation?
yeah, like with Dogecoin. I mean, I don't know
yeah,
if it got
no.
dropped or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty sure
I'm sure it will get dropped just because the things that he said in his tweets, and the guy's not stupid. You know what I mean? He knows.
No, of course
he knows law.
he's a
very
genius
well.
for sure.
And he never said buy Dogecoin. You know, never.
No.
And the only way you could take somebody to for market manipulation is if you are advising people to purchase an asset.
Yeah.
And you're not.
And then you sell.
You're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just saying, hey.
Most of the time he was just
like
Doge
Didn't
to the
he
moon.
say like Doge to the moon? That kind of like
exactly.
That's fine.
Yeah,
insinuates,
that's
but
literally what he
definitely
kept saying.
doesn't
Yeah.
like.
That's just saying, like, man, I hope it goes up.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so the guys dropped off after like that whole fiasco. I did a little bit more looking into other things. And I jumped on to Shiba Inu
Good move.
and Safe Moon.
Oh, when did you sell either?
No, I did not. Yeah, so I'm holding
Yep.
on to both of them.
It's okay.
So with Shiba, I actually like my initial investment when it was at its highest point. I actually like made 10 times my initial investment,
Easy.
which was like really good. I mean, it dropped a lot now, but who knows? And like everything dropped because of like the state of the world and the market and stuff
And
like that.
there's a lot more to that
So-
too that we could get into as well.
Yeah, definitely. So, I'm definitely gonna keep holding on to my my Shiba Inu. I still have my Doge, and I've been just buying like little bits of Bitcoin every time it dips like really low. So that's like usually has been like I'm not trading all day. I'm just like hodling pretty much.
Yeah,
You know, like
so-
when it dips really low, I buy a little bit.
Yeah.
I hodl it, and hopefully in the long run everything is gonna jump up, and then my small investments will
Pay off.
bring big
They
reward.
will.
Yeah, so that's my strategy
So
because I'm not gonna go in with a lot of money,
No, of course.
and you know there's big risk, big reward, and then there's like I'm more of the small. I'm gonna take very small risks, hope for high reward. If not, if I break even or I make a little bit more, I'm good with that.
So
I'm not the gambling type.
Yeah. So I have a strategy for somebody that that buys and holds their tokens. You know what I mean? And it's called yield farming, right? So if I'm bullish, are you familiar with like stock lingo and shit like that?
A little bit.
Okay, so if I'm,
Bullish, I know is when it's
when it goes
it's
up.
doing good.
Right. So
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah.
bullish on a token, right, and I know I'm going to hold this crypto asset, I want it to make me more money, right? Everybody
Hmm.
likes making more money. So you put these tokens in something that's called a farm or a pool, and you stake these tokens. And I'm looking at something for Doge right now. So you pair these two tokens. You pair Doge and BNB. BNB is the native token for Binance
Binance
chain,
coin.
right?
Yeah. Yep.
And
Hmm.
you're able to earn 9.7% APR, right? And you're
Okay.
paid that in tokens. Now, that's not taking into consideration hopefully the appreciation of the value of this token. So you're getting 9.7% of the tokens that you're staking. So, but who's to say that those tokens that you're going to get rewarded aren't going to be worth 10x what they are now? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So that's a strategy that I use on most of the tokens that I'm just holding, because
And
holding a token in
and
my
just
wallet is
sorry
doing
to
nothing.
cut you off. Just a disclaimer.
This is not
This is
financial
not
advice.
professional. This is not professional financial advice for anybody to follow. We are just
Just talking about it.
discussing our
Sharing our
own
experiences.
strategies, yeah, and our experiences, and you do with that what you will. This is not financial advice.
Don't blow your life savings on Doge.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't do
don't
it.
do that.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But
Continue.
and so I'm looking at some of these farms right now. I wish I could do like screen view or
Screen
something
share.
while we were in here. But like I said, Doge and BNB, 9.71%.
Mhm.
You got Ethereum USDC, so that's Ethereum to a US
I
dollar
hate
coin.
Ethereum.
I know,
I
but
had such a bad
for
experience with Ethereum.
people that want to
It's
hold
the
it,
fucking worst.
you're making almost 6% APR. So
Yeah,
these APRs are, where else are you getting?
very
Where
high.
you get? I mean,
No,
but the thing is, that's very low.
that's like
That's very low for somebody that experiences
that's
DeFi. I was messing with yield farms that were giving me 4% daily. You know what I mean? And
mm.
you just got to do it the right way. This is something you're on
Well,
top
I
of
mean,
all day.
even whether it's 4% daily or just like 6% or whatever, that's still higher than any bank is going to give you on a savings account. It's going to give you on a
Oh, for sure.
CD. Um, like you might get close with a Roth IRA or like certain government bonds, but like it's gonna be, and those things are for years,
Yeah.
right? It's not like you can put them and take them out. There'll be penalties.
Mm.
Obviously, you get charged gas fees
But it's also,
with certain
but this is
tokens
a
and stuff like
gamble.
that.
It's a
But
gamble. Who's going to say that this
yeah,
token's going
exactly.
to keep going up in value?
It could
It
crash.
could
Yep,
crash,
exactly.
and your token's
I'm not a
worthless.
big fan of the 401k. Honestly, I had mine. I was putting in like
Hmm.
$500 a month, and I looked at it, and the guy's like, "Yeah, so in the past like 4 years, I've been putting like this much money in it. I think in total, like of my own money, it's like $7,000. It's at $10,000 right now. I'm like,
It's
it's ass."
worthless,
And then
dude.
one of my other buddies is telling me like, you know that when you retire and you take that money out, they get to tax the shit out of that. I was like, what? I was like, yeah, they
Yeah.
get to tax the shit out of that. I was just like,
Even when it matures.
yeah, like say you have $1 million, they
In
take almost
Jersey,
half of
yeah.
that.
In Jersey, they do.
Oh,
Even
that's
after the
wild.
fact.
Jesus
So it's like
Christ.
you spent, so not for nothing, but basically the amount of money that you just put into your 401k,
You're getting half of that.
because
Yeah, that's wild.
you've already essentially invested that. I would rather invest
Yeah.
that back in the stocks. I have in my own stocks because I think I was trading a little bit
You
before
already
you,
paid
Drew.
tax on that just getting it.
Right. So in
Then you
2020
gotta
when the
pay
market
tax on it again?
crashed, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So when the market crashed in 2020, I had a decent sum of money that I've been saving up, and I just dumped it into the market when everything was low. So I bought like Sunoco, I bought Carnival Cruise, Royal Caribbean, I bought airlines, I bought fuck, I don't even know what
Oh,
else I
fuck
bought.
cruises.
Oh, dude, they did really good for me.
Not this. Yeah, the stock
Um,
made me a whole
I did
lot of money.
Ford. I got a lot of things.
Oh no, I understand the stock making you a lot of money. Cruises are just pieces of shit, and I will not invest in them.
Well,
Um,
they made
off
me a
of
lot,
principle, but
and I got dividend yields from them, and then I would take those dividend
Mhm.
yields and I would just start peddling it back through. So then like it just kind of became
Yeah.
its own thing. So that we're like
Mhm.
the amount of like dividends I get paid out is close to about $1,000 now every 3
Nice.
months, and it just pays me out. And I just throw it back in.
Yeah.
Or if I take it out if I really want to pay off a bill fast, that's basically
yeah.
it.
Nice.
Doge actually redid the house that I just bought, the inside.
Oh, very cool.
So
Yeah.
Very nice.
that
I made
was
money off of that
Yeah.
one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to teach me some skills, man, so I can start
Yeah, man. We
making some money off of this stuff too.
I just got to show you how.
What else
Well,
has
he has
crypto
a-
gotten you?
I'll show you what. I'll show you what it goes on. What goes on. The possibilities are
Drew, what
endless.
else?
Yeah.
What else?
What else?
Okay,
has it
so-
gotten
What
you?
else has crypto gotten you?
I mean, I have a lot of tokens.
Yeah.
Well, I think he got a new car. He got a new car with help with that,
But
right?
this is the thing, dude. I don't like to withdraw my crypto. You know what I mean? I don't look at my crypto as fiat assets. You know what I mean? Because if I put
Yeah.
a face value to these tokens, I'd fucking blow my head off because I've seen 80% drops. You know what I mean? On total portfolios. I've been halved and then halved again the next day. You know, where you got like 120 grand and that shit turns to $20,000. You know, that's happened to me a few times. So you become numb to it and you learn that I'll look at the price of the token when trading, but I don't look at my portfolio as especially in a market condition that we're in right now. I don't look at it as a dollar amount. I'm just trying to accumulate as much as I can. I buy a shit ton of NFTs like when they first like release, and I sell them the next day at the floor price just to accumulate, you know, the token that I'm bullish on the Cronos blockchain. So I try and get as much of that token as I possibly can, and if that's swing trading tokens or if that's, you know, minting NFTs and selling them for a floor price, or even minting NFTs and selling them, holding them for a few weeks and selling them later. If they have utility, I stake them or something like that. But I just want to get as many of these tokens that I feel have longevity to them as possible. Because dude, crypto's honestly, if you don't think that this is going to be integrated sometime in the near future, you're kind of like blind, because if you think that the SEC wants to regulate something that they're not going to utilize, you're fucked up in the head.
No,
You know what I
the
mean?
government is already working on trying to
But that's for
regulate
a reason,
so.
because they know that this money thing that they have going on is unsustainable. But at the same time, there's ways to make a crypto token unsustainable. There's inflationary tokens, deflationary tokens, but it all has to do with how you code your tokenomics and where you have your taxes directing to, and is your liquidity going to be accurate with, you know, major buys, and then when people sell off, do you have a tax incorporated where it's going to maintain your liquidity? Like, those all play a role when you're developing a token, and if you don't know what your goal is at the end of everything, you're going to fuck everything up. You know, it's a part of my language. You're gonna destroy.
Oh no, we curse all the time.
right,
I think I cursed like 6 times already.
You're
good, bro. Did you not hear me say Mike can gargle cum?
Oh, that's right.
Like,
It was literally the first thing that he said. I was like, you can't say
it's
that.
literally within like 30 seconds of the podcast.
I'm used to a lot of spaces that you kind of got to curb it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you have the young kids,
No, I'm not even talking about here, but like, you know, Twitter Spaces and podcasts and shit that.
Yes. Can you tell us more about these communities that you're in?
Like where are they and who are they?
Just like, I don't know, just like some of your favorite ones, or like, or, I don't know.
So,
I think he's talking about tokens, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, all right, so tokens.
Is that what you mean by spaces? I thought
Spaces. I mean like Twitter Spaces and Telegrams and Discords and live chats and stuff like that. So,
well,
he has his own Discord
I
server.
guess they're like little communities.
Yeah, exactly. So I in the morning, honestly, on my way to work, there's this Twitter Space, and it's kind of like a podcast because it's, you know, people hop on and you can mute or unmute them, and it goes live for about 3 or 4 hours, and it's a bunch of people just, you know, in there shooting the shit. But it's called Coffee and Crow. So Crow is the coin for Cronos. That's the blockchain that I develop on and I use. And it's just,
so that's what you use as a base for your NFT and coin?
No, that's just my morning one. that's the one that I go to in the morning. You know what I mean? And then throughout the day, there's these this lounge that I go to called Leo's Lounge. I hop into a couple of his lounges, but Twitter is definitely where I attend most of my spaces.
Okay, so are these like I'm sorry, are these on like something to do with the metaverse, or this has nothing to do with the metaverse?
No, it's
You're
on,
saying lounge, and I'm
it's
thinking
on
of like a
Twitter.
3D space.
All right, so if you
It's just like
Okay,
a
if you
forum
go on
type
Twitter,
of thing, or
if
like
you go on, no man, it's a Twitter account that hosts a
Listen,
live
man,
space.
listen. Let me explain something to you. We old as fuck. We might be the same age, but we old as fuck.
You have
Okay,
a podcast. You have a podcast.
dude. Listen. You are talking to like three, like 67-year-old men right now, right? So like you're saying a lot of shit that I have no
I
idea.
think you're
what
smart because you got glasses.
even
Disco's
mean.
got glasses. Fuck you.
But all right, so by Twitter Space, I mean like an open voice chat.
We don't know your youngin lingo,
Yeah.
okay?
It's like an Xbox Live party chat for
Exactly.
us.
it's just like a live
There you go.
chat where you
Thank
can
you.
just discuss.
Thank you
like,
for
I
putting
guess.
it in terms that we
I got you.
understand.
I got you, bud. Don't worry.
But yeah,
Oh, man.
but a lot of the people that that I surround myself in these communities are, they do crypto for a living. You know what I mean? They have a
Yeah.
project. They buy and sell crypto assets to make their income for the month or whatever, and they host these spaces and they get paid off promotions and shit like that. So, I'm definitely a believer in you are who you surround yourself with. You know what I mean? And these people that
Of
I talk to
course.
every day are people that I aspire to be like. But they're cool, man. And and I'm not trying to say like I'm playing like butt buddy with them, but I try and follow them around to every space that they're possibly in because they're exposing me to so much social marketing for my project. It's ridiculous. You know, I
Yeah.
and I appreciate
Also,
that.
you can pick their brains and like learn from them. Really,
Oh,
it kind
I
of gives you
do.
more
Yeah, of
opportunities.
course. I
Yeah.
mean, if I mean, if the podcast space was similar to this, then we would be doing the same. But you know, it's hard for like to collaborate with other podcasters. You know what I mean? Especially everybody's in their own lane. So like the podcast community, like for like let's take comedians for a sec, right? They're like that, right? Every comedian does every other comedian's podcast. They like promote each other. They do this, they do that. But with everybody else, especially if you're trying to break in, like there's like millions of podcasts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
It's all about
different. But
networking.
I definitely understand. Like we would be doing the same thing if it was just easier to do it. You know what I mean? But no, why wouldn't you want to do that?
And I'm not and I'm not
like,
riding
even
I'm
in
not
the-
riding a coattail. You know what I mean? It's just I'm cool with them. You know what I mean? Like we talk,
Yeah.
we text, and we talk on the phone, and
Yeah, it's like developing any other business relationship.
exactly.
It's
And you
yeah,
guys, what do you guys do? Just like share ideas, or be like, "Oh, this is what I'm into right now," or
Yeah.
like,
So
how to,
so Coffee and Crow. So Coffee and Crow that I listen to first thing in the morning. Not listen to, but that I'm active in as well. We talk about like we recap what happened yesterday because dude, this shit changes every day. You know what I mean? So we recap over yesterday, what NFTs released, what the floor prices are for these NFT projects, what tokens are releasing, or what type of utility are these token projects releasing. So we kind of brief ourselves for the day, and we kind of know what projects we're going to invest in, or what kind of projects we're going to take some profits from. But it just helps you kind of grasp insight on what the day is kind of going to be like. It's kind of like watching CNBC in the morning, getting ready for the stock market. You know what I mean? You're tuning in, you're ready, you're watching these tickers, you're looking at the futures, and you're preparing yourself. If you swing trade or day trade, you're preparing yourself for your day. You're gonna establish your position, know where you're gonna enter, and keep it going. So that's kind of what I use Coffee and Crow for in the morning. Leo's Lounge later in the afternoon. That one for me is like I communicate a lot with like the Metaverse people in crypto. They have something that's called Lazy Horse Race Club, where you're actually able to race your horse NFT. So I have a horse NFT that was actually gifted to me. It's like $1,000 NFT that somebody gave me. Mike actually saw. I was racing it the other day. Like
I was there.
he's like,
on a
"Here's my
racetrack.
stallion."
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
no,
super-
it really is.
It's but you earn tokens. It's play to earn. So you race your horse, and if you win the race, you earn tokens. And there's things that you could do with those tokens. So with those tokens, you can stake them. You know what I mean? So you're earning in DeFi 400% APR is not unheard of. So with this specific token, You stake it and you earn like I think it's 212% APR. Granted, you're earning maybe 50 cents every race you do, but if you stake that, that turns into money. Even if you invest it and stake it, it turns into money. But
Well, if you stake it and it's doing that exponentially, then
it's good. But if you're
you're
staking and it's losing
yeah.
2% every single day, then it sucks because you're not doing
Yeah.
shit. But
So sorry, one before you keep going for the horse racing, how does that even like?
Can you soup up your horse?
How does that get computed?
what, the horse racing?
Put a Hemi engine in my horse.
All right. So what do you mean? How does the racing get tied into crypto?
The NFTs.
How? So okay,
How do
so
the
you have a
horses
I mean,
race?
horse
like, how does the
NFT.
whole thing work? Like, how
Right.
how do you
Yeah, like-
justify? Like, how does the race work?
Like
how do you
how
win?
does it get decided to who wins?
Yeah.
You're
Right.
racing,
It's like
you're racing
your
people.
horse.
No, you're racing other horses.
It's like you're actually doing
You control-
keyboard.
Are you
Yeah.
physically doing something to make it win? Like,
Yeah.
are you taking control, or let's say, in terms
you're
of
actually-
the game,
you're actually
pressing the
controlling
you
it on
control
here.
how fast it's going by like
with
buttons you're
boosters.
pressing.
Yeah, we press forward
Okay.
to go.
You're
forward.
you're on an
Wow.
actual digital
Alright,
track,
it's a
and you're
game.
actually
Hold
with
on,
the
stop,
horse,
stop,
and you're actually
stop,
sitting.
stop.
Okay, one
stop,
second.
stop.
Everybody's talking at
Yeah.
the same time.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna explain the
Go for
game
it.
because I play it, and Michael watched me.
Okay, so it's a game. Okay, you didn't say that in the beginning.
It's a play to
Okay,
play to
go
it's
for
a
it.
play to earn game. So
Okay.
at when the gates open, you know the goal is to catch the boost out the gate. So you press forward, and hopefully you catch. There's like a swinging bar on the side that you need to catch while it's in the green,
Okay.
and hopefully you get that and you bolt out of the gate. Then you want to steer yourself to the inside corner, ride that inside corner, and during the race you get energy boosts. So you want to press on that when you feel as though it's the right time. Hopefully it's not when somebody's right in front of you, because if you hit them in the back, you're going to boost them instead of boosting yourself. Blah
Oh,
blah blah. So the
interesting.
goal is to obviously win, and if you win or podium finish top 3, you get tokens. But again,
Okay.
you're not getting dollars of token. You know what I mean?
No,
You're-
no,
you're
we
just
understand
you're
that
just-
part.
You're just gaining assets.
We
just
didn't
didn't
realize you were
understand how
talking
the
about
game
Mario
went. Yeah.
Kart. like
yeah,
the crypto version.
exactly.
No.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Um,
It's cool though, man. Like, but it's cool, you know.
It
and-
makes it. It makes the. It makes the thing like tangible in a certain
it's
way,
user,
right? Like
it's like interactive friendly now. You know.
yeah,
You can see
exactly.
things
So
in
it's
it.
not
like-
just like a. It's not just
feel like-
numbers on a computer in outer space. It's
Right.
like, hey, I can actually use this to play a game, and then I can do through this game. If I have skill, I can earn more tokens.
Right.
Well,
I feel like that's very engaging, and just it would draw a lot of people, draw more traction to the coin. That's actually really cool. I feel like if I heard about that, I would jump into
So
it.
I mean, look at it like this: how much more entertaining would a game be that gave you crypto tokens that are financial assets instead of XP points? You know what I mean?
That would be very
Personally, I would hate that.
Well,
why?
personally, you
I like
probably
with all my heart. I
because
don't
you-
want to have anything to do with that.
Do you suck at gaming because you would make a lot of money?
No,
if you were
I'm pretty
good?
good. I'm pretty
Then-
good. It's just I
don't know. why
I
you
like to
would
keep my
enjoy
gaming
that.
and money completely separate.
Well, then don't
Keeps
sell them.
church and state
Don't
different.
sell
No, that's
them.
what I'm saying.
They're
I wouldn't
tokens.
partake. I mean, no, by all means, if people want to do it,
So-
they can. Yeah.
That's
I mean,
that's
okay,
what play
I
to
mean-
earn is. You know what I mean? It's gamification
Exactly.
incorporating crypto assets.
Yeah.
That would actually be very cool, and I wonder if that eventually is gonna become part of mainstream gaming.
I think it's
Like,
going to be
is
an
it
option.
so? Right?
I think it's going to be an option. You know what I mean? You obviously have to play. I mean, pay to play. You know what I mean? You have to pay, but because where does this money come
So-
from?
Do other
But-
people
no, I
get
understand
to
that.
bet, like on the race too as it's going? Like, oh,
Correct.
red
So
horse,
on
or-
tournaments, there's these NFTs called skyboxes, and if you have a skybox, it's kind of like a penthouse, and you can watch these races from your penthouse. You can host parties in these penthouses. You can host like podcasts in these.
Again, so you're saying penthouses,
Right.
And so where are these spaces existing?
Is that like
in
a
the-
metaverse?
On the
like,
metaverse, it's a
space?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So the
okay,
skybox
okay.
is
So
is within,
are these races also in the metaverse?
yes,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
yes.
Okay, that makes more sense. Now.
So you buy an NFT that's called a skybox, and you're able to watch these horse races from your skybox, and you can decorate your skyboxes with your NFTs like on the walls or whatever. My goal
Yeah.
for my token, it's called, my NFTs are called BabyJoeys, and I want to have like a
Mm-hmm.
90s style arcade machine and be able to have the people that own these skyboxes or the cafes in the metaverse or the, the lounges in the metaverse or the clubs to be able to buy these arcade machines and use whatever token you want as the asset to play. You know what I mean? So in the slot,
Mm-hmm.
in a arcade machine, it's a quarter. You play 3 times, whatever. In this scenario, let's say in metaverse spaces that I'm familiar with or that I sponsor, I'll have my arcade in there, and you're gonna pay to play baby. You're gonna pay with BabyHop to play an array of
Mm-hmm.
games. So let's say it's gonna be like a Mario style one where you're jumping to accumulate tokens, whatever, and that obviously symbolizes the tokens you're gonna be getting. Or it would be like that racing game where you're just like, you're trying to dodge like cones and you're just
Yeah.
trying to get tokens,
Mm-hmm.
like really early 90s um, kind of arcade games. And that's because this is like 90s style art that my NFTs are based on.
Yeah.
I'm a 90s kid, and that's what I grew up playing. And most of the people that are in this metaverse crypto space, I feel they're in our generation. You know what I mean? You're definitely between 25 and 40. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would be attractive to a lot of people. So if it's attractive to a lot of people, it makes me money, but it also makes the people that are playing it, hopefully, if they're good at it, money. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the way I'm exposing myself, like socially in these Twitter spaces and these metaverse spaces, is like I'm setting myself up to be able to say, hey, listen, I have this this thing available, this arcade available, and this is my NFT, and this is my token, and this is my project, and I'm whole, and I'm not a fucking rug puller, and I
Mm-hmm.
constantly push, and I'm a sick developer, not developer myself, but I produce. You know what I mean? Let me be
Yeah.
part of your lazy world is what their
Yeah.
metaverse is called. You know what I mean? Let me be part of your lazy world, because at that point, dude, I sit here and I keep coming up with more utility as a job. You know what I mean? That's it. I'm done at
Okay.
that point. Because if I get accepted to that, my token blows up,
Mm-hmm.
my NFTs blow up. It's over. You know what I mean? And I'm on that. I feel like this project is on that path because I'm gaining acceptance from all those major influences of this lazy world metaverse
Mm-hmm.
project that they got going on, and they're actually ones that are giving me insight on how to do things and how to market and how to do like giveaways and what's going to be the most effective way to bring volume to my token or to my NFTs. I like I said, dude, I put thousands of dollars in a website that
Yeah.
that I need for people to buy my NFTs. You know what I mean? Instead of going the cheap route and using somebody else's shit, I had somebody develop my
Mm-hmm.
own because that's showing legitimacy. You know what I mean? And that's what this is all
Yeah.
about. When somebody's investing in crypto, they want to know that this developer isn't going to take everybody's money or disable
Yeah.
or
It's not a
disable.
pyramid
You
scheme.
can do anything. I could disable sell. People could disable cells, but there's codes there. You can incorporate code in your contract that doesn't allow those things to happen. And when investors see shit like that, they're like, all right, this is a safe as fuck project. I'm going to play.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully they see that with mine and see that in a shitty market that I'm still developing and I'm still creating and I'm bringing out utility. And people don't come out with NFTs a month after they release a token. You know what I mean? It takes a while.
Yeah.
And I'm doing all that shit because I'm
Yeah.
serious about this. You know what I mean? I love this shit, dude. You know what I mean?
So, so I have a couple questions. You mentioned your Baby Hop NFT, and their coins are Baby
Nope,
Joey's.
other way around.
Okay, so the NFT is Baby Joey's and Baby Hop is the
Mm-hmm.
coin. Okay, obviously your NFT is based on kangaroos,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I'm not
Correct.
mistaken. Okay, I checked out. So Mike had sent me your website and your Baby Hop website, and I went on it. I looked at it. You have a set amount of tokens,
Right.
um, which is important because if it's like Doge, where it's an unlimited supply, then it doesn't grow as fast. When it's a limited supply, you create supply and demand.
Correct.
That's one. Two, why kangaroos and why Baby Hop and why Baby
Sure.
Joey's? And three,
Yeah,
you
what's the
talked about
inspiration?
you talked about your '90s art style, which I enjoy. I did like it. Who came up I guess who did your art? Who did your coding? I don't know if you want to shout them out or
Yeah,
whatever,
sure.
but it's up to you. But yeah, tell us a little bit more about the process that you took into making your NFT and coin.
All right. So about 2 months ago, we're a month ago, about a month and a half ago, crypto took a shit. Crypto took a shit, a big shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Crypto took a nosedive from
I
the moon.
I was I was
Reverse moon.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
extremely invested in this DEX, and a DEX is an exchange. So like you have TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, Fidelity. You know, a
Hmm.
DEX. So from now on, I'll say DEX. When you hear me say DEX, it's an exchange.
Okay.
A,
So
de-
like
a
Coinbase is an
That's an
exchange.
exchange. A DEX is a decentralized exchange. Okay.
Okay.
So I was ridiculously over invested in this DEX called MMF, Mad Meerkats,
Hmm.
and Mad Meerkat Finance. And I mean like way over invested.
Yeah, I was like, where's the F coming
Yeah,
from?
Mad Meerkat Finance. And like I'd say like 90% of my crypto portfolio was within this DEX's ecosystem. So an ecosystem is a token that is pegged, supports another token that
Hmm.
supports another, it's all supporting. It's a supporting
Yeah.
ecosystem. So I was using my yield farming strategy, right? And I would stake this token called M share, and at the time,
Hmm.
an M share was worth $14,000. So you would stake these tokens called M share for about 3% APR daily, or APY
Hmm.
daily. And it was called Savannah. So with that Savannah, you can stake that Savannah along with another. So you got to create liquidity. You'd stake that with another token, and you would be able to produce M share when you stake those tokens at 2%. It was like 2.2% APR daily. And then I would take those M shares and put them back into the original M share, the M share stake. So there was a point where I probably was at like I was I was in like 6 digit territory in that cycle,
Okay.
and 2 months ago, dude, or a month and a half ago, that shit went down to probably like $4,000 or $5,000. You know what I mean?
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
dude,
Wow.
it halved, then it halved again, and then it halved
Yeah.
again. You know what I mean? And
It
dude,
just kept going.
those are things that
Oh
happen. You know what I mean?
no.
Those are things that happen, dude. And it gets to a point where it's like
Yeah.
once it halves twice for me, I'm like, all right, well, it's moon or dust. That's a phrase. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Moon or dust. And
Yeah.
will it reverse? Probably not, because I mean, I took what I could at this point. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
have a bare minimum that I'm gonna pull out. You
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
Bitcoin was able to do it a couple times.
Yeah, but I'll get into how this is all tied in. So the reason it's going to be hard for these tokens that I was yield farming to go back to the value that they were previously is because they were called an inflationary token. So as we're getting
Mm.
those rewards, the contract is minting, which means creating new tokens. You know what I mean? So it's
Mm.
technically deflating the price of these tokens unless you have more buying pressure to this project than you do minting pressure. This token will never maintain or appreciate in value. So we
Okay.
were we were at a point where it was a bubble waiting to burst. People were buying. Everybody
It's
wanted
creating more
every
supply than there's
right,
demand.
but everybody wanted to buy these tokens because they wanted to get this APY. And as more people stake these tokens, the APY diminishes because you cannot sustain that. You know what I mean? The supply is
Hmm.
there's a maximum supply that they're going to eventually hit, that they're capped at, and that's it. So that happened, and then it all comes crumbling after. You know what I mean? So we were in a fucking shit show and a panic, and we were like, what the fuck do we do? Boom. So this new exchange comes out, this new DEX comes out, and it's called HopSwap. And HopSwap's first thing is we are 100% SEC compliant and ready for any regulation that they put in place. All of our code and contract and tokenomics and algorithms have been SEC tested, and we are in compliance for when they do decide to regulate.
Hmm.
Because it's not an if thing; it's a when. That was a,
They
that
will.
was that was
Yeah.
appealing to me. I was like, all right, these guys are here for the long term. Let's see what they're really about. Then they start talking about offering products as far as like, assistance in NFT staking development, assistance in token development, assistance in token staking development. So he wants their thing is to help projects create utility for their tokens, because not everybody knows how to code. I don't know how to code. I pay somebody to do that shit. You know what I mean? So that's something that was interesting to me, and that tells me like, all right, once they have all these things lined up and ready to release, that their project is going to blow up. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to launch a project on their DEX, and I'm going to be their baby token. You know, you've heard of baby Doge and baby, you know, you hear all that. I'm going to be their baby token.
I think I got some baby Doge or some shit like that. I don't
So
remember.
I didn't even know there was a baby Doge.
So we scrambled.
Me neither.
So
It's probably cute.
you can only do one. There's only one something. You know what I mean?
No, I didn't get baby Doge.
You can only make one something. So there's going to be only one baby hop. So I was like, okay, I'm going to secure this before some asshole scammer tries to release this project, because that happens a lot.
Yeah.
And let's see what I could do. I've never released a project before in my life. It's a new experience. I've been part of a team that's released tokens before, you know what I mean? But never have I done it on my own. So me and a couple buddies, we ended up getting in touch with the developers of HopSwap and got the router information that you need to make the the token contract. We put together all the code for the tokenomics and the taxes that are incorporated with the buys and the sells and the rewards that the holders get. And we deployed it, I think it was like 8 hours after they released their exchange to the public, which is fast as hell. You know what I mean? We put together a contract that was like a smart contract that was over 600 lines worth of code in less than 8 hours. You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody knows anything about code or anything like that, but that's a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So,
especially for it to pass and there's no errors.
Yeah, there's no errors. Yeah, we made sure everything was good. But so we launched it. We hit like a $40,000 market cap within like the first 3 or 4 days, which was fucking ridiculously impressive. And now we maintain. I think last time I checked, it was around like a $20,000 market cap is where we were maintaining. But that's impressive, and I tell you why, because not a lot of activity is happening on the HopSwap DEX. My token right now, if you hold it, you get 10% rewards on every buy and sell. So 10% of those buys or sells that happen are going.
I'm familiar with that system.
Are being distributed
because SafeMoon does the same thing.
Because it's being distributed to the holders, but you're getting hop, not baby hop. You're getting distributed hop. SafeMoon is a self-reflectionary token, which is an inflationary token. That's why they have all those burns and shit like that. But my token's rewarding.
Yeah, so they have like, you get charged 10% when you buy and sell. 5% goes to liquidity. The other 5%, then like 2.5% goes to everybody else. And I forgot where the other 2.5%
probably goes to a marketing fund or something like that.
Yeah, whatever.
But
I didn't get much. Again, I go in very little.
So we release this token. I start getting familiar with the developers over at HopSwap. They see what I'm doing. I hire a graphic designer. You know what I mean? So I got this girl in the Philippines that creates really good banners for me. So she's the one that does like all my Twitter art and Instagram art and Telegram shit and all that.
Oh, that's great.
So then we found, we were getting attention. HopSwap came out with their NFTs, and their NFTs were called Rowdy Roos, and they're called that because they're kangaroos. I have a couple of them. Actually, if you look at I'll show you if I could shut my camera off. If you look at the one behind the BabyJoey with the hat on.
Wait, we can't see anything right now.
You can't see it? I thought it would show like my picture for profile.
Screen.
All right.
No.
If anything,
So
probably just turn the camera out. I don't know.
They have a play to earn game.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't mess with it.
They have a play to earn.
Send me the picture and I'll put it in post.
It's fine. So they have a play to earn game. It's a boxing game. You know what I mean? And you use these NFTs to box. So that's their thing. So I was like, okay, I'll do BabyJoey. It's a baby kangaroo, and it's gonna have nothing to do with fighting because I don't want to run off their coattail. but let's incorporate them a little bit into what I got going on. So, dude, I paid like I said, like $3,000 just for the page to mint these NFTs. I outsourced the artwork from a NFT artist in Indonesia. Actually, his name is Bros, and he does a lot of Cronos NFT projects. He does a lot of them, and his artwork is sick. It's really clean. It's really bright, and it grabs attention. So we used him. He charged us a few bucks for the artwork. We had 500 in the collection. So we created the art, and then you create the metadata and the traits, and then you have to create the smart contract for these NFTs to put them onto the blockchain. So it's not just like here's a picture, you know what I mean? It's a GIF, it's a GIF, and I'm sending it to your wallet. There's so much behind an NFT, and when people say that it's just a picture, it kind of frustrates me because
those people are retarded. They don't know what they're talking about.
It's just ignorance.
It's just doing a little bit of research.
Exactly. You don't know what it is. When you're looking at it, I could say the same thing about your $100 bill. That's a piece of paper. You know what I mean? But
I can say I can say about the $3 million painting that's sitting on your wall. That
I got that for him. I got that for him. I saw that and instantly thought of him. Look, it has the same glasses as him.
But that's
oh no, I wasn't talking about him specifically. I'm just saying in general, these rich people that buy these canvases with like one line on it that they paid $3 million so they can launder their money. And then they're like, "Oh, this is fantastic art."
That's 100% what they do.
Exactly. They find somebody. They're like, "Just do a painting for me. We'll have an appraiser appraise it for like $2 million. I need to launder some money. Let's get this done."
Yep.
Yeah. No shit, Sherlock. But that's besides the point.
It gets me frustrated when I have those conversations with people because they're very narrow-minded, man, and they're like, "Oh, crypto's a scam. How can you just have something that's worth money coming out of nowhere?" And that's not the way it is, dude. You know what I mean?
Well, how do you get paid now, sir? Nobody gets paid in cash anymore. It's all ones and zeros.
So tell me where your line of credit is.
Exactly.
Where's your line of credit?
It's all number.
It's because they say
just
it's
numbers.
because they say you do. It's because they say you have that much money accessible to you. Where is it though? Because don't nobody have it, honestly.
Who's backing it? Where's the gold that supposedly backs it? Right?
It's not there.
We don't have a gold standard anymore.
So, but anyway,
we don't.
I feel like
it's already being done. Your dollar your dollar used to represent like a certain amount of gold, and then Nixon just said nope, and then now it's just like whatever we think it is.
I
say the same shit.
I feel like crypto is more backed by a hard asset than the US dollar is, because you need, with my token, a proof of stake token. All right, so there's two different tokens, proof of work, and then you have tokens that are proof of stake. Proof of work are tokens that require mining to produce these tokens.
Yeah, so like Bitcoin.
And mining is not easy. You know what I mean? You need these really complex rigs to even become profitable.
They're solving math
equations,
right?
Pretty much. Crazy equations. That is impossible.
You're also running them at like 100%, so they get worn down faster. So you're also replacing these rigs sooner than what they naturally would. You're putting them on overdrive. If you ever see these people have these setups, they put them in giant fucking fridges, and they just have them all running at the same time just so they can get the production that they need. And there's a limited supply. So it's like, go ahead.
So
no, I'm just saying. So like people think Bitcoin and stuff is for free.
It's not.
But it's not. Like you're spending energy, you're spending equipment. Like the initial investment is a lot, but you're also getting crazy reward for it because of the Bitcoin is so expensive.
Hopefully.
And that's another thing to consider when people mine. They just think they're going to throw a rig up there and it's going to make money. No, you have to take in consideration like how much power you're actually using to do all this. It takes a lot of power. If you might actually be using more power than what you're mining. So basically you're netting nothing.
You're in the negative.
In today's world, mining crypto, mining Bitcoin, more than likely, unless you have an apartment that has utilities included, it's not worth it.
Well, I was talking to John recently and a couple of guys that we have this other group chat, is that the price of graphics cards since crypto took a shit, like Nvidia, GeForce, RTX, 3080 fell from $1,100 to $793 because
nobody
now people
wants
are
them.
less. I guess right. Nobody wants them right now because crypto's not doing good. So now you ever saw like when crypto was first becoming big, nobody can get their hands on any of this stuff because they couldn't
No.
produce graphics cards fast enough for
Mhm.
people to actually get them and like actually use them for everyday
Use
life.
them,
People
yeah.
were also reselling old graphics cards that got burnt out. Like, oh, I have this GTX, whatever, and they're like, yeah, sure, and they get it, and it's already burnt the shit out. Like, it doesn't perform anywhere near where it's supposed to, and it's only like a 3-month-old graphics card. So now, like, you're starting to see people starting to back off a little bit from that, but you know, not for nothing. But everything comes down, eventually it goes up. So you're just gonna see.
So
this
anyway, I'll
flux.
get into the other side of the other side of it. So that's how. So back to the minting thing. So when you do, when you solve a block is one of those equations. You're helping a transaction complete. A block is a portion of that
Yeah.
transaction. So when you complete a block, you're minting a portion of the fee that it takes to for the gas. You know what I mean? So obviously that comes from somebody's wallet that paid fiat money for this Bitcoin. Anyway,
Yeah.
so every 4 years, the profits of Bitcoin miners are cut in half. So what does that mean? That means that every 4 years, we're going to see a mass exodus of people, aka the miners, that are taking their profits because it's been cut in half from the time that they started 4 years ago to today, 4 years later, and they're saying, okay, I'm taking my profits and I'm going to go mine another token. Or I'll start mining this token when it hits a lower price because I'll be able to get more than.
Yeah.
But the bubble popped. You know what I mean? That amount that you were getting got cut in half. And that's what happens every 4 years in crypto. And that's why you look at the charts. And if you look at the charts, you can see kind of, I think it was 2017 that 17, 18, that we saw a really, really serious correction. It was a halving almost, and that's essentially exactly what happens. The miners are rewarded half of the rewards that they were getting. Therefore, the price of the token is pretty much going to go in half because most of the people mining are going to exit because it's not as profitable for them anymore. Now you have another style of crypto tokens that's called proof of stake. Now, to be a proof of stake, you have to, which is what my token is. So when you deploy this smart contract, you have to pair a token. So you take 1,000 of my token that are worth nothing. I just deployed them. They have no tangible, no dollar to them, no dollar value to them yet. And I pair them with another token that has a dollar value. So in my situation, I paired my token with Crow, the Cronos coin. So at that time, I paired up, 4,000 of my tokens with 4,000 Crow tokens. That was about $400 worth, and that set the base price. Now from here on out, the price is dictated by supply and demand, and that's the way it goes. You know what I mean? It's not inflationary or deflationary. It is managed solely by the supply and demand aspect of the token. And that's how it's sustainable. Something like that is sustainable. You know what I mean? It is able to live on forever and not lower its value because there's a supply that's continuously being added to it.
Yeah.
So that's
okay. So a couple of real quick questions so we can wrap this conversation up. I'm pretty much going to be asking you your opinion on the tokens that I do have, right? So I got, we already talked about Doge and Bitcoin, so those are, whatever. I have Shiba, SafeMoon, which we talked a little bit about, and then Evergrow coin.
I don't know what that one is. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
What's that one?
Yeah. So that it's I don't know. It's fucking tiny, but I just put $100 in it.
So
got like a shit ton of coins. I was just like gonna wait for it to go up on its own.
If I was gonna give advice to somebody, and this isn't financial advice, but if I were to give you my input on what tokens I like to look at right now in market conditions like this, it would be Cardona, ADA. It would be Ethereum. It would be Bitcoin. It would be Gala, Polygon, like a lot of main coins. I'd list probably 15 of them right now, but these are all main coins that are doing so many things, and that their blockchain is so advanced that once this utility does start being incorporated into like the world's lifestyle, these projects are going to blow up. Like Cardona has a voting they have voting incorporated on their blockchain where they can have political votes if you wanted to. You know what I mean? Where they cannot be tampered with. You know what I mean? It's one vote per wallet.
Yeah.
There's no way to do any more. You know what I mean? And you could register the wallets. The person could put in a note their social security number, so that way this person only votes once, and that's it. You know what I mean? There's ways to incorporate these things. And the great thing about the blockchain, dude, is you can see every single thing somebody does. But who's to say it's me right now unless I say that wallet's mine?
With BabyHop, now you said you can get it on the Hop exchange. These exchanges have always been, like I told you before, I'm a 67-year-old man, have been difficult for me to like purchase coins on, because I've tried to get things on other exchanges, and it was just like, oh, you got to do this and this and that, and I'm just like, fuck you, I'm not doing all this just to get a fucking coin.
But the thing,
So-
You have a digital wallet set up, right?
the payoff that you get with that coin is remarkable.
So, explain to us how to purchase your coin
All right, so
in the easiest way possible
the easiest, most
that even I can do
all
it.
right.
So I can do it.
So if you wanted to buy my token right now, the fastest.
Okay.
All right, to do it solely by yourself, you would have to open up a crypto.com account, and then you would also,
Which I have already.
then you download their DeFi wallet. You transfer Crow to that DeFi wallet, and in that DeFi wallet, you go to the Web3 browser, and you type in HopSwap.finance. Right after that, you go to swap on the lower left-hand corner. Then it will pop up a window. So on the top portion, you'll put Crow, because that's the token that you're going to swap for BabyHop. And then the bottom, you're going to import a contract address. I'm sure do you know how to import contract addresses and stuff like that, or you've never done that before? All right, so literally you copy it and paste it and press enter. That's literally it. I could send you guys the contract address. And then you press swap, and a window is going to pop up, and it's going to say, do you want to import this token to your wallet? That's just so you can see its balance. You say yes, and now you see how much you have.
Here's my suggestion to you, right? You're doing your coin sounds amazing. You're doing a lot of cool stuff with it. I think one thing you should do is create a video tutorial and of like your screen or whatever, and step-by-step process of literally of the ways you can buy your token, because I went through some of that stuff with SafeMoon, and someone and a YouTuber had made videos of how to purchase it and how to do all these things, and it made it easier for me, because me personally, I am a visual learner. I need to see it so I can be able to do it. You know, I'm not like auditory. Like you telling me right now, I'm gonna forget everything by the time this podcast is over. So visually, I'm a visual learner, so it would be fantastic, and I think it would help you grow a little bit more too if you do that video tutorial, put it up on YouTube. We'll share it. I'll share it on social media. We'll do whatever it is to promote your thing. So why don't you do that now as well? While we're gonna wrap up the conversation. Give everybody all the information of the HopSwap, of your token, the website, and just and then we'll also have all that information in the description below for you guys to check out.
So Telegram is BabyHop Token. Our Discord is BabyHop Token. I'll give you invite links to that. Telegram or Twitter is BabyHop Token __. And that's pretty much. I mean, we have a link tree that gives you all our websites and shit like that. www.hopswap BabyHop.finance is our main site. www.babyhopmint.finance is our NFT minting page.
It was great having both of you on. Thank you for bringing Drew on, Mike, and thank you for joining us. And we're back. Let's jump into our news segment. You know what? I'll go first. I have just quick news that kind of go along with our topic a little bit. They're tech news. Scientists have invented living skin for robots, which is a very cool thing. Japanese scientists used human skin cells to create a living skin equivalent that replicates the look and touch of skin, repels water, and repairs itself when injured, much like living organisms. This is very cool because it could be used for prosthetics, and it'll it won't look weird. I also saw this other prosthetic where it's like a human hand, and in the forearm it's shaped exactly like a human hand. In the forearm there's a bunch of hydraulic tubes that act like muscles to move the fingers, and
that's
it's
sick.
yeah, so it's and it uses water, so it's just like like the water pressure to
That's like an amazing feat of engineering. Wow.
How do
Like
you
to be
say,
able to do that.
contract
Manipulates
and
the fingers,
uncontract your fingers, just like a human hand would. Yes, and it is an amazing feat of engineering. I always looked at prosthetics, and I was just like, they always looked a little clunky and things like that. And I'm just like you have the perfect model already, right? Like the human hand, you have the structure, which is the bone, and then you have the muscle around it. So why wouldn't you be able to just create things like that? Like you can use like carbon nanotubing for like the bones, make them thin and light, but very tensile strength is very high, and then you try to find something that's like muscles, which these like little perfect hydraulic tubes are doing, and then I think they're flexible too, and combine that with the skin, we would have perfect prosthetics. It would be amazing.
That, and eventually when we have Neuralink, you can like already have like the link control there and just like connect, and then next thing you know, you just think and it's natural. It feels real.
Yeah.
And that future, I can't. I always wish I could just see like 100 years in the future.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think we're gonna be able to see some of the stuff in our if we live long enough. If we live into our 90s, I think we'll be able to see like the beginning of a lot of this.
Who knows?
This
Maybe
technology become a little mainstream.
Maybe they'll come up with like an anti-aging.
Well, they're already working on that.
But like a legit one.
Yeah, I think so. They've already done it in mice, where they've lengthened their life by like 2.5 times or something like that, because it's all about like the telomeres in your cells. That's what that's what they think is like your lifespan. Yeah, so it's just like they keep your telomeres get shorter as your life expires. So I think they find a way to re-lengthen telomeres or keeping them from something like that. But I don't know the exact science. I could be completely fucking wrong. Go do your own research. But
he just made that word up. He's
like,
right? Telomeres.
I just want to teleport.
Yeah,
it's actually Tupac Shakurs, and there's too many. There's Tupac Shakurs get like degrade and depreciate, and what happens is.
That reminds me, if nobody has seen this last season of Atlanta that finished a while ago, watch it. My God, watch it.
That season was so crazy. Just a side note, it had like an episode of like the main characters, and then there would be like another episode.
There was like 4 to 5 that had nothing to do with
random characters, but just so interesting. Like, awesome.
I was just thinking, you said Tupac Shakur. If you want to know what I'm talking about, you got to watch the show.
All right, next up, Amazon is testing a new Alexa feature that could mimic the voice of dead relatives.
I remember that episode of Black Mirror.
Me too. This is why I picked it, because it reminded me 100% of that episode of Black Mirror, and it's just interesting. I mean, it's been happening since the time of Star Trek, right? Where they have like those little communicators, which eventually became our cell phones. Like so sci-fi things that we are thinking of are slowly becoming our reality. And I shared a thing on Twitter where they had those dogs from Boston Dynamics. There was a bunch of them, and I think it was an army
they're
base.
all like squatting and moving.
Yeah,
at the
they're
same time
moving
and stuff.
together, and I was just like, damn, this is not good. And it reminds me again of this episode of Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
Where, yeah, so
Well, Black Mirror mimicked their design off of the Boston Dynamics thing.
yeah, but
So,
like taking it to that step, which was
Oh,
very
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
And my last piece of news is a company wants to store all human knowledge on the moon. So they are working to do some test runs. They're sending things onto the surface of the moon because.
What does
What's
that
that?
really mean? Are they gonna put the internet on the moon? Like,
So
It's
human
like-
knowledge meaning all the information we've gathered. So all mathematics that we've been able
But I'm
to
just
figure
thinking, it's
out.
like you're gonna have
physics.
like all these crazy things: how to split an atom, how to do aerodynamics, how to make an empanada. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be the most random shit.
It's human knowledge, man.
But I'm just saying that's hilarious to me. It's like you're gonna have literally how to make an empanada next to how to split an atom. Like,
I don't know if it's gonna be right next to it. I think they'll have like a culinary section, but
I know, but it's just like everything is there.
Yeah.
like that's
on the
hilarious.
moon
to
of
me.
all places, just like
so the reason why they want to do it on the moon is because Earth's weather and things that are changing are causing more natural disasters, and there's no really safe place to store things anymore. And they figured, hey, maybe we can put it on the moon. It's safe, but you also got to take into account solar radiation. The moon is part of the moon's design is to catch asteroids, right? Its gravity pulls asteroids away from Earth, and that's why there's a bunch of craters on the moon. Is because they all crash into the moon. So their design is
real-life
putting it under the
guardian.
surface of the moon. I don't know by how far, but also the moon is obviously it's in space. There's no atmosphere, so it's very cold. So it's a perfect way to preserve these things. It's going to be petabytes of data up there, and
they're gonna have a real empanada. It's gonna be frozen.
It's
Still
funny
be
because like
good.
I'm thinking about this. Like they're
Yeah.
this is 100% legitimately saving like backing shit up to the cloud. Like
yeah,
literally.
pretty much, yeah, to a physical
have-
cloud.
Gonna
Yeah,
have
it's just
some
like
dick
you're
pics up
literally just
there.
like, oh yeah, all my information's up there.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
But yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see, like, they say all human knowledge, but I hope they're not the company that's picking which knowledge gets put up there, right? And how biased are they gonna be to which knowledge gets saved? Because then they're curating the knowledge that they want to keep and the knowledge that they don't want.
I mean, this is how Horizon Zero Dawn, the game, happened.
Exactly. Right?
Like,
he,
it's
he
literally
deleted
like
everything.
this.
He was like,
Yep,
"Fuck
he
this."
deleted
Yeah,
shit.
he's like,
oh,
they
wait
need
till you play the sequel, Eslam. You find out there's a lot more shit that happened with that information.
Oh God, I can't wait. Like I said, man, Horizon Zero Dawn was a very interesting story.
Really cool concept.
Yeah.
The story itself, But I mean,
Well,
like
the story of the
the
concept, like
yeah.
we talked about it before. It could have been done way better, but it is what it is. But that is all my tech news, along with our crypto conversation for today. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. Got some like current news and then some entertainment. But first off, Roe vs. Wade officially overturned. This is just disappointing.
It really
we're not
is.
gonna go too deep into it, but I don't understand how. Me personally, I don't understand how this just came up and then they passed that shit quick as hell. But we're still stuck on gun laws. Like we can't do nothing about guns. Like how are they making this? Like how did they make this decision so fast? But like we're still up in the air with guns and like
Technically,
it's just-
guns have more rights.
than women.
It's ridiculous.
They have. It's crazy. It's crazy, and it just it makes me wonder what
It's-
kind of like what really
it's very
happens up
disappointing.
there at the top in this country that I live in.
It's very disappointing that it's moving backwards instead of
I
forward.
very
really
much
is.
look forward to leaving this country at some point.
I've been thinking of which one I would need to go to, but like,
We've already
there's
we already
not
settled
much
Japan,
better
so
out there.
We settled on Japan.
For real.
But there's
Let's make our
I don't
own
know if it's a
country.
governor. I don't know if it's a governor. It was some government official in Texas who said something on Twitter along the lines of he was happy about this decision.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, next they need to go after Plessy versus Ferguson and Brown versus the Board of Education, which means this man said, I want segregation to come back.
Wow.
Like, we're at this point
Yeah.
where somebody could say that shit on Twitter, and half of the Americans would be like, I agree with that. Like,
Yeah,
that's where we're at
It's
now.
wild. It's
Like, this man's talking about segregation.
bro.
We're
yeah,
literally moving back. It's
and
crazy.
because of this precedent happening with Roe v. Wade, now there's talk about reversing equal rights to marriage and other things that came about that were never codified into law. But listen, the best way to get this thing corrected is to vote for the people who say are going to do it, but they most likely won't. Unfortunately, because the Dems are cowards, they don't really do anything, and the Republicans are.
When everybody gets their head out their ass and they realize there's more than just these two parties,
Yeah.
and there's other people out there that are saying things that you want to hear, just be like, oh, I like red or blue. No.
I think
There's
eventually
other
it's going to
options.
come to the point where people are going to get tired of these two parties, that one is screwing them
hope so.
over and one just wants to fundraise, that they're going to go to third party and they're going to vote third party hard, and we're going to get our first third party president, and we'll see what happens. But it is not looking good. It's America's moving backwards for some reason. I don't know.
I
what the
just
fuck's
don't
happening.
understand the motive, like, for the government. Like, why? Just why? Like, I don't like.
Their
Like,
reasoning has been.
I feel like it's religious.
They're
the
confused
reasoning.
old people.
It is.
They're
the
confused
reas-
old people.
Their reasoning is religious, but like they're trying to hide it
'Cause
with.
they're old.
Yeah, they're trying to hide it with constitutional, but like they're saying the federal constitution shouldn't decide whether it should be left to the states. But I mean, if the federal constitution shouldn't decide, then the states shouldn't decide either. It doesn't make sense. Like it should be left to the autonomy of the person. There's like caveats, but like, you know, we're not gonna get into the nitty gritty, but you know, it's like it's weird. Their justification doesn't make 100% sense. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah. I don't even know what to say. It's a sad day for women out here. It's a sad day for America.
it is definitely a sad day for women.
Yeah.
It's a sad day for just society in general for this shit to be happening in a supposedly secular country. So
Man. Anyway, next up, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson has just been sworn in as justice on the Supreme Court, making history as the first female African American justice in U.S. history, and she was replacing the retiring Justice Stephen Breyer.
okay, yeah, I was wondering. I was like, there was already 9. I was
So
like,
yeah,
damn
so
it.
one step down, and then because you asked earlier. So yeah, one step down, and so now she's officially taken up his seat.
Yeah, because
So,
Trump put in someone that replaced Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who passed during his administration. So I was just like wondering what's happening here. But yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yep. So kudos to her. Hopefully she helps make a difference and bring Roe v. Wade back. That's my current news, world current news. Then I have some entertainment news. Just one piece that recently there was a trailer released for the show C on Apple Plus, and I really love that show, and so I just wanted to mention it. And it's coming back August 26th, and this new trailer kind of revealed to us the direction they're taking for this new season, because they kind of left last season on a I don't know if it was a cliffhanger, but one of the main characters did something that I thought was like off. And so now they're kind of explaining it, and it's really cool. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Baba Voss, I stand with him always, and I'm looking forward to a new season.
Is that the fucking?
Baba Voss is the main character.
Momoa?
He's Jason Momoa.
No,
And
it
also
sounds like that lady that sees the future.
Oh, the Oracle lady, Baba Yaga or some shit.
Oh, there you go, Baba Yaga. Okay, it's the Baba.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And so I'm also looking forward to seeing Baba's brother. I think he might return from looking at that trailer. And it's also Batista. Batista plays his brother. So it's like it's really fun seeing them fight because they're both blind and they're just big ass burly people. And that fight, it's really cool seeing the way blind people fight because you know, we're used to seeing UFC and boxing. It's like you could see, but when you don't, it's like all like tapping, and it's like it's crazy. So yeah, I'm really in love with that show, and I can't wait for it to come back.
Quick question:
you were gonna say something?
Baba Voss. Does the Baba mean something else?
I don't think so.
Does
I
it
think
have
it's
like
just
a meaning?
house name?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In Arabic, Baba means like father. That's why I'm asking. So
No, yeah, that's actually just his name. They just
like
named
Darth
him that.
Vader's like Dark Father.
It's Baba Voss, and then Batista's name is Ito Voss.
Does Darth
I kinda
mean
thought it was
dark?
cool. Ito.
Yeah.
Did not.
And Vader means father in German.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah. You get to learn
so
shit
that's-
on this podcast. That's what we do.
Yeah, open your ears.
Sometimes.
We're teaching now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my news. I'm looking forward to those shows and just world news.
Cool.
What you got, Dan?
Now I got some wrestling news. So, you guys know how I'm always talking about Vince McMahon, WWE just firing people, including trying to fire Vince McMahon.
Yep.
I have the opposite of that. WWE signed some people.
Oh. Because
Now,
they don't have anybody, so they need to sign some people.
so I'm gonna start this off with WWE just recently signed Logan Paul.
Oh god.
That's not surprising. It's not surprising.
Yeah, so he has. I think the contract is more or less supposed to be like a. He's not going to be appearing every week in wrestling because he ain't a wrestler, but he's going to show up to like big events like SummerSlam pay-per-views coming up. He's going to be there for that, so he's going to be there for the big shows, and I'm sure WWE's going to try to work him into being a babyface, and it ain't going to work. People just don't like this guy. He's a natural-born heel. Also, WWE
Yeah, he is good at being a heel, so they should just do that. But
well, every time they brought him in, they try to make him a babyface, and then people start booing him. Like, oh, I guess he's going to be a heel again. But they also signed former Bellator fighter Valerie Loretta. She's now officially signed by WWE. I don't know much about her. She has a 4-1 record in MMA, so she's fairly new to the game, I guess, of mixed martial arts.
I guess professionally, yeah.
Yeah, professionally, exactly. Not, But hopefully she does something. I don't know. I just don't know anymore, WWE. Another thing I want to talk about is Ric Flair's last match is coming up soon. We still don't know who the fuck he's fighting, but they've been announcing other matches that are going to take place on the card. It's looking like it's going to be a pretty good show overall. Josh Alexander, the Impact World Champion, is going up against Jacob Fatu, who's one of the many members of the Samoan dynasty, basically related to everyone who's ever been Samoan that's not Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fatu. That's Rikishi's last name.
That should be a movement. Hashtag fat too.
We also have the Impact Knockouts Championship, where Jordan Grace is going to be defending her title against Deanna Purrazzo and Rachel Ellering.
I stand with fat people.
We support the fatties.
The Wolves, Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards, are going to be going up against the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. That's a dream match, something it's old school. It's cool that we get to see it there again. And then we have Killer Cross going up against Davey Boy Smith Jr. So overall, it's going to be one hell of a card. You got all that, plus you got some old guy fighting somebody.
Probably some other old guy.
Most likely. I just hope it's some form of a tag team match.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy, who recently had a DUI, which we talked about here on the podcast, pleads not guilty to the DUI charge, which is interesting. There's video, and he kind of clearly looks like he's under the influence. And then there was other video that showed him drinking just a few hours before getting arrested. So I don't know.
Did he have
I don't
like
know
a
what's going on.
breathalyzer or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did that. They told him to do the whole walk thing. It's like it's
Wasn't he,
all on video.
Way over too when he.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact number, but it was up there. But he's pleading not guilty, so I don't know. We'll see what goes on with that. If there's any updates, I'll mention it.
Okay.
All right,
Feels
so
like he's gonna like get a deal or some shit because that sounds weird.
potentially, right? So AEW just recently had AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling just recently had their Forbidden Door pay-per-view this past Sunday. Great show, no surprise there. One of the matches in particular that stood out that nobody was really expecting to be as good as it was, Will Ospreay. No Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy.
Oh shit.
Holy shit! Because Ospreay is known
Oh,
for doing
shit.
the crazy flips.
Yeah.
He's like he just flips. He's always in a motion of flipping. Orange Cassidy is the complete
Is
opposite.
he the
man
backflip
doesn't
inspector?
move. No, he's the backflip teacher, if anything. He's the backflip instructor. But no, Ospreay's known for doing all this crazy flippy shit, and the fact that he's going out there fighting against Orange Cassidy, who is the complete opposite. The man only sits still.
He's
He
the
doesn't even give
backflip
you a full
inspector.
thumbs up. He gives you one of these because he doesn't want to lift up the thumb all the way.
Yeah.
And they put on, my God, one hell of a fucking match. Like I can't, like the whole beginning, Orange Cassidy is doing shit as always with his hands in his pockets, but he was doing more than usual with his hands in his pockets. It was great. At the end, Ospreay wins. His crew comes out. They start beating up Orange Cassidy and his crew, and then out comes Katsuyori Shibata. Okay,
Shibata
who is
back,
a
yeah.
legend? Yes, exactly. Who's the legend who I mentioned on the podcast? He's the guy who's not allowed to wrestle by New Japan because he had the bad injury. So he comes out to save Orange Cassidy. And Shibata, he's this hard hitting, no nonsense, fucks people up. He's standing toe to toe in the ring with Orange Cassidy. And Orange Cassidy looks at him. He takes his sunglasses, puts them on Shibata, and walks away.
Oh damn. That's
So
great.
very entertaining. And then the match, one of the best matches, of course, was the tag team match. FTR walks away with another tag titles. So they are now currently the AAA World Tag Team Champions, the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, and now the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. The only ones that they don't have are the ones in the company that they are currently in, AEW, which are held by the Young Bucks. So that's going to be a great match. They fought in the past. Main event, we had Jon Moxley become the interim AEW World Heavyweight Champion by defeating Hiroshi Tanahashi. And great match, no surprise there. Afterwards, Tony Khan announced the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view, Death Before Dishonor. It's going to be taking place on July 23rd. Very much looking forward to that. And after the pay-per-view was over, this past Wednesday, we had the Blood and Guts match, AEW Dynamite's Blood and Guts, where they have the two rings over one big-ass cage, and people just fucking go to war in it. It was the Jericho Appreciation Society versus the Blackpool Combat Club. And as always, Jericho and his crew, they come out looking like a boy band from the 90s. And it was good. They're going out there. There was blood. There was broken glass. There was thumbtacks. There was tables. There was kendo sticks. There was forks. There was skewers. Just a whole lot of shit. And one phenomenal match. In the end, the Combat Club won by a newly acquired Claudio Castagnoli. I always fuck up his last name. He was Cesaro in WWE. He debuted fighting against Zack Sabre Jr. on Forbidden Door, and he won this match on Dynamite, and it was one hell of a match. So that was a lot. That's my wrestling news, though.
Cool. Hey man, the backflip inspector and the backflip instructor match was the highlight of this wrestling news.
Yeah, fuck Logan Paul.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that.
I don't mind the Paul brothers. I think I did before, but I recently saw him on a podcast, and he plays into the douchebaggery or whatever you want to call it, because it's
The persona.
yeah, he plays into the persona, so he's perfect. I mean, not perfect for wrestling, but like that persona is perfect for a wrestler, because it draws attention. It makes people interested and whatnot. So people take that into real life. When he was on the podcast, he was like a real cool dude.
Yeah, I'm sure he's great. My whole hating for Logan Paul has nothing to do
No,
with his
I understand you
personality,
hate him because he's not.
He's
a wrestler.
taking the spot. He's taking the
Exactly.
spot of a wrestler who deserves that spot.
Exactly,
That's why
and I
dislike
completely
him.
understand your
Yeah.
point of view. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's my 2 cents on the Paul brothers. But hey, dude, listen, man, and a lot of people hate on them because of how much money they make doing what they do, and it's just like, yo, they were able to game the system, and they're pioneers. So it's
Who
just
wouldn't do
like,
that?
exactly. So kudos to them for doing what they do, and hey,
Seeing him there is like that
they
time I
rock
saw
their
Snooki at
hustle.
WrestleMania. Pissed
They-
me off. So
Can't knock their hustle.
Yeah.
Everybody, they had their mouse on everybody's name. They made a bunch of money and they made away.
Exactly.
So it's like you can't
Hey.
knock that.
Hey, it is what it is. Let's go. Final thoughts, gentlemen.
My final thought is I finally fucking got my passport, so I feel like a grown
Nice.
adult. I can actually travel the world, and I'm looking forward to it. The first place I'm going out of this country is to your wedding, hopefully, if
Yes.
everything goes well. And so that should be fun. I can't wait. I can't wait to leave this country and see life on other continents. It's gonna be fucking exciting. I feel like I've been boxed in my whole life, and now that I'm 30, I'm like,
You're
I
starting to
could
peek out that
fly.
cubicle.
Yeah, I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
Yeah, we're finalizing some stuff about the hotels and flights, so we'll let you guys know soon about that. So don't make any moves yet. So we're trying to get you guys like the best rates for everything.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at flights, and I was thinking about locking some shit down, but yeah, let me know.
Yeah, just give it a little bit. Like it's gonna be very soon, but yeah.
Got you.
Dan, what's your final thoughts?
my back hurts. Feet are killing me.
Mm-hmm.
I had a headache for like 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, we did say we were like 67 earlier on this podcast, so you're
His
not wrong.
Tupac Shakurs are just too small now. They're just
Dude,
whittling
my
down.
shoulder's been fucking like hurting forever, and I don't know what's wrong. I've tried stretching.
That's
I've
all
tried
three of us
everything.
now.
Yeah.
The shoulder things hit all three of us now. I don't know.
I don't know
what's
It's
going
a
on.
shoulder bug.
Yeah, I guess.
Good news is my wrist is back to normal.
That's good.
It's
Don't
probably
be careful. Don't move
it's
it. Don't
probably
move it.
because you
I
put
know,
that
I got-
watch on it.
Yeah, I
'Cause
know.
you've
it's
been double
empowered
wristing,
now.
yeah.
Double wristing so hard all day. Ugh,
Yeah.
yin and yang.
Look like a
So
fancy
that-
Wolverine.
Yeah.
You need the time, motherfucker. I got you. Both
Like,
sides.
which one you want, digital or
Both
analog?
sides.
Yeah. My final thoughts. I don't know. I kind of don't have any since last time Dan answered my question. Kind of shut me down.
I remember that.
It is what it is, it's gonna take me a couple weeks to recover from that, but
He's demoralized.
And it's funny because like that was the first time you actually had final thoughts.
yeah, in a while, and you were like,
And it was
"Shut
just-
the fuck up."
I don't even remember what the question was, but you asked something. I was like, no, this is what it is. Like,
Yeah,
oh.
yeah. I asked
Okay.
about the farming on Tatooine, and you're like, "Yeah, no, it's a moisture."
Oh yeah, the
farm." I was
moisture
like,
farm.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The moisture.
Thank you for listening to Los Wise Guys podcast. If you like what you hear, follow us on social media, like, subscribe, rate, share, and review. Go check out our website. Go check out all our cool YouTube content going up every day. Thank you for listening. Have a great week.